What's up, connoisseurs? Kyle here. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today I'm going to be cooking some beef short ribs on the Weber kettle. Take a look. With any type of rib, one of the first things you want to do is to peel the membrane off the back of the ribs. That's that tough, chewy skin that's going to block a lot of the flavor from getting into the meat. It's also going to be really difficult to eat. So you want to get that peeled off. One quick tip, use a paper towel. This helps you get a better grip on it and pull it off a lot smoother. Okay, now that we've got the membrane peeled off, I'm gonna go ahead and cut these into individual ribs. That'll just help me arrange them better on the grill, help them cook a little bit faster as well, and give me a little bit more control how done these ribs are individually. All right, we got everything cut up. The next step, we want to get some seasoning on these ribs. I'm using a Texas style brisket rub. It's got some brown sugar, some pepper in there. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit spicy, one of my favorite flavors, especially on beef. It's okay to be a little bit liberal with the seasoning. I want to make sure we get that flavor and especially get that crust on the ribs while they're cooking. All right, now we've got some good seasoning on these ribs. I'm gonna let them sit for about 45 minutes, let that seasoning start to dissolve and soak into the meat. In the meantime, I'm gonna heat up the grill using the Weber kettle today with the Vortex insert. I'm also gonna add a little bit of hickory wood just to get some smoke going to help get a good smoked flavor in addition to the sweet and salty that's in the rub. right, we've got the ribs on the grill. Now this is probably one of the hardest parts for me, is just waiting, because the way this is set up, there's really not a whole lot we need to do. Just monitor the temperature. We're monitoring the doneness of the meat. We want to look for that meat to start shrinking off the bone. That's how we know that some of that moisture is evaporating out. We also want to see the fat start to melt and get absorbed into the beef to get that nice, tender, juicy beef rib flavor. One of the most important things to remember while you're doing a slow cook like this is to leave that lid closed. There's a phrase, if you're looking, it ain't cooking. So leave the lid on, as tempting as it is, especially once you smell that smoke, start to smell the meat cook. Really the only time you would ever need to open that lid up is if your temperature starts to drop and you need to add fuel. And every time you open that up, you're adding additional time that's not necessary or beneficial to your cook. So we're just about 2 hours in. These ribs are looking really good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take them off. As you can see, the meat shrinking off the bone. The fat's rendering nicely and just melding in to the beef. These are smelling great. They're looking great. These are done. So anytime you take meat off of the grill, you wanna make sure you give it a chance to rest before you cut into it. That just lets those juices get distributed back out evenly throughout the meat. Just lets it relax. It'll be a little bit more tender after about 15 minutes taking it off the grill. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these off, let them rest, and then we'll cut in, and that's the fun part when we get to see that meat. All right, connoisseurs, thank you so much for watching the beef short rib video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you have a favorite beef rib recipe, leave it in the comments. And remember, the only bad barbecue is no barbecue. So get out and cook something. We'll see you next time. Swallowed a bug.